Today we're going to prepare some yellow capsicums, also called bell peppers. We're going to make some paprika out of it. So I've just started off by cutting each individual bell pepper in half and then removing that top growing portion that was attached to the plant. I've cut that out, you can see them over here, and now I'm just slicing them into slices about 3 mil thick, and then we're going to put them into the dryer after I've processed them all. So they're very easy to do, there's virtually nothing in it. No secrets, no big dramas, I don't think. We just need to remove the growing tips. These are very small, there's no seeds in them. So if they were larger, then we'd be removing the seeds. But we had about 50 of these on our overwintered plant this year. They're very small. This one looks like it might have been going to have some seeds in it. But larger plants have seeds in them. These ones appear not to have. We'll have to cut that piece there out, run it around there, take that out. Oh, there's a couple of seeds, what do you know? I'll cut that in half. That area there's free of seeds, that part. Get that cleaned up so we can slice it in a moment. There's a couple of seeds down in there that I'll get at, right down there in the base. Take them out. Another seed there, flick him out, got rid of him. Cut that out and see what we've got. Nope, that one's pretty much free of seeds too. Right, I'll slice that up. They're going to be tiny, but we only want small sections. They'll dry very quickly in our desiccator. And then we'll take them out and we'll put them through a grinder that we have, that we make our paprika with. So I'll just continue working my way around these. I've got 14 of them there that I'm going to cut up for this mix of paprika. We usually use red peppers, but I'm going to use yellow this time because I'm intrigued to see whether it'll retain its yellow colour once it's been pulverised or not, or whether it'll come out as a brown shade. Because the red ones, the red bell peppers, always make red. And we've got to cut that little piece out there. And that looks alright, I'll cut that in half. And yeah, once again, no seeds. So this is going to be an easy run by the look of it. Slice it up now. You can see we're getting a nice little pile of cut up pieces over there. We'll put them on a wire tray a little bit later and put them into the dryer once I've done all these. So it's just a matter of methodically working through, making sure there's no seeds in the pieces we've got here, and just work our way through. We're very lucky there's no seeds in these, it makes it so much quicker. And over to this half, cut the growing point out, see what we've got. Nope, no seeds in there, so that looks pretty good. Remove that. So I'll finish the rest of these off camera. I'll do this one here, and then I'll finish the rest off camera, and we'll come back and see how much I've cut up, and then we'll put the individual sections on a wire tray, and then we'll put them into our dryer. There's all our chopped up capsicum. What we're going to do now is we're going to put them onto a wire mesh tray we put into the dryer. So I'll get rid of those offcuts first. The worms will enjoy those. So what we'll do now, pick these up, plonk them on top here, and then level them out so that they're not on top of each other, so that they dry properly the first time around. We won't have to put some of them back in again and re-dry them. So that's all there is to it actually. It's nowhere near as dramatic as some people on YouTube like to pretend it is. When you've grown your crop, bring your fruit in, wash it, make sure the outside of it's clean, using a sharp knife. Cut the growing tip out, remove any seeds, if there's any in there. They can go down there, that one there. And then slice them up into slices about 3 millimeters, a bit less than 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch maybe. Slices. Having done that, then spread them out on a tray so that they're not on top of each other. Gives every section an equal chance of drying out, and that is pretty much what it looks like once that's been done. There it is. 1 or 2 have fallen through. We'll pick them up and put them back on again, but that'll now go into the dryer.
Okay, so we're going to now dehydrate some yellow bell peppers. So we've got them here, but they need to be spread out a bit more because we need a bit more space around each piece. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time spreading these all out, make sure there's plenty of room around each piece, just to make sure that the air can move around it freely. So we'll just spread these out now. So we're actually looking to dry these, and once they're dry, put them through a coffee grinder, which ultimately will end up producing a nice spice called Paprika. We'll just keep spreading these all out. So there's a lot of moisture in this lot of yellow peppers, so they may take a little bit longer in the dryer before they're going to be ready, which is all the more reason why they need to be spread out. Okay, so we've nicely spread out all the little pieces for the yellow bell pepper. So we'll now put them in the dehydrator. As I mentioned before, they're quite moist, so they may take a little bit longer to dry. We'll just stick them in the middle here. And once again, we'll set our time and temperature, and off we go. Again, I would check it probably every 2 or 3 hours now, because I know it's going to take a while for this to dry. Okay, so it looks like we've finished drying the peppers, and so as you can see, they've gone from yellow to a dark brown colour, which is what we're used to seeing in the way of paprika. Nice and thin, so hopefully they'll break up really nicely, and we'll grind them into paprika. So here's our dried peppers, yellow peppers in actual fact. They've gone very dark, as you can see, and they have shrunk quite a lot, but it's the right colour for what we want to make, which is the paprika. So what I'll do now is I'll put it into a grinder. So this is the grinder cup that we're going to use, put in the dried peppers. So I'll just put that down here. We'll just now start to put these into the grinder cup. Seem to be coming away nice and easily. So we only really left them in the dehydrator for about 4 or 5 hours. We did cut them finely, so they did dry quite quickly, and that was at 70 degrees Celsius. Putting those in there, and I'll show you what they look like inside the cup. Almost done. Okay, so there you go. So now we're going to add them onto the grinder machine. I'll just put this over here. This will be the lid we'll put over the top to stop it from flying everywhere. And this is the grinder we'll be using. We'll just sit that in the top, turn it and lock it, and then we put the lid on the top. Okay. let's have a look. It's for about 10 seconds. Oh, it seems to be breaking up, but it might need a little bit more, I think. Let's put it back and do a bit more grinding. All right, let's go for a bit more. Let's have a look. Still needing, I think, a bit more. This is going to go back on the top now and we'll grind it some more. Yes, it's getting close. I'll bring it back down so you can have a look. Let's do a little bit more on this. It's not quite there, but it's getting close. So that was pretty close. Okay, so let's tip this out and see what it looks like. Still a bit more in there we'll need to take out. So it's quite fine. Might need a little bit more drying. We'll just let it sit out here until it's dried all the way through, but I think that's going to be good. We work well on our meats. You can use paprika on meat for flavour and colour. There you go.